Okay, hello everyone, everywhere. My name is Samantha Mabry, and I'm here to talk about Perusall, which is a interface in which your students can do the reading. That's sort of how I use it, and as like a collaborative tool that you can use through Canvas. I had OIT superhero Faye Walter set up a Canvas shell that's just Perusall Workshop Mabry that I sent invites to. I'll do that towards the end of the workshop. See if we can do that kind of together and you can be a student working in Perusall. But I was going to go through sort of what I thought the pros were and what I think that maybe the cons are. And the way that I was going to show that, first of all, has to do with just going into one of my classes. There's only so much that I can do because I would love to show you how it's graded, but I can't show you their grade. But I can set it up a little bit when we do the sort of demo version of it. So I had to ask for Perusall to be put into my Canvas. I do not think, for me, it now defaults because I just roll my Canvas courses over, but I did have to send an email to OIT and ask them to please put this into my course. It was just recommended by another of my colleagues, and I wanted to work around with it. So this is what students, will see. This is their class page. This is their stuff. I do have the assignments in the modules that will link to Perusall, but I'm just going to go straight into right here. And this is what I have. So what you do when you, before I get into the pros, one of the cons, as you'll see, I think functionality is a little bit tricky. It takes a while to set up on the front end. I can copy courses from year to year, but I can't copy one section into other sections, if that makes sense. And so what you have to first do is populate a library. I use this for readings. Okay, again, this is like how I get my students to do the reading, essentially. And so I scan in all of the PDFs that I have, or if I have the files, on zip drives or whatever, you can upload it here, like you upload a document. It does have, okay, it's touching. It does have all of these other ways that you can upload videos and quizzes and things. Haven't touched it, have just uploaded documents. I have not perused this catalog at all.
So peruse some of the perusals.
Okay, and then I make an assignment with regard to the reading. So what I first learned was that I just told my students, read this and take notes. And they were like, say what? Okay, so I had to give them, I sort of forgot that taking notes is a skill to be learned, okay, and that I had to give them a little bit of prompting. So this says, this is a long nonfiction essay and a great introduction to our course, which involves hoaxes, cognitive biases, and critical thinking. This is the first thing they read at the beginning of our 1513. If you're just getting started, I'd like for you to highlight and take notes on anything you find particularly interesting, which would include all of these various things. Okay. And then they could open the assignment here. I will collapse this for now. And this is what you could see students have already, this was an old assignment, but they've highlighted all this stuff here. The way that I have learned how to use this is that I have my readings, these Perusall readings due before class starts. These are major readings for our course. And so then I typically have a quick in-class writing assignment based on the reading. And while they're doing that in-class writing assignment, I scan through Perusall, okay? To kind of see what they have focused on, basically. So I'm actually going to scan through to show you a particular, can't see my whole screen, so I'm trying to get, oh yeah, there it is. Okay, so I was trying to find while I was preparing for this session, like what is like a really golden Perusall moment. And it was this, because when I open it, I can see, it's not it either. Oh yeah, all of this. So these are your students. They've said this, they've said all this stuff, you know, they're talking to one another. Sometimes you can see them at reply one another or +1 each other. What I like looking through when on those times when they're doing their writings and I'm looking through, okay, you can see that someone like +1 here, you know, is that yes, I have also taken notes on this reading and have a discussion prepared, but sometimes this is like, will show me a place that I haven't thought of, where like students just somehow gravitate to this. And I have all kinds of comments here. These like, you know, questions. I'm trying to find another. So you can see this person kind of at replied, I agree. Another really wonderful thing I have learned about Perusall is that I can tell you like this particular student is an extraordinarily quiet student in the classroom. Does not participate in discussions, is very reserved during peer review, but just like knocks it out of the park here. Like says all kinds of interesting things, is in dialogue with people all the time. And so I was really able to see this person participate and come alive in this platform. And, you know, I even mentioned it to him. I mean, it was just like an I see you moment, you know, like I understand that you seem like a quiet person. I really appreciate your contributions to Perusall, you know. And so I think that that is lovely.
Ties into what we talked about the last meeting.
Yes.
How to measure their participation without just always having them chat in class.
Right, right.
That's great.
Right. So the thing is that I don't, and I'll show you this in just a moment, is that I don't necessarily read all of these through because I don't have to, because Perusall can be graded and it's a graded assignment that you can then hit a button and put it into your Canvas daily grades. Okay. So I will show you that. Again, I can't show you that right now because I can't show you my students' grades, but I can show you how I set that up in this fake class that I have put you all in, hopefully.
Do you give them any kind of parameters about, okay, respond to 1 or 2, or do you just let them know? Because it looks like some of the entries, you've had a few discussions, others just have 1.
I don't.
Do you care?
No, I don't, but you'll see that the way that it grades itself does grade certain comments as better than others.
Okay. Did you have to set up the rubric for that?
Yes, but it's in here. But again, that's one of those front end things where it's like, wow, this seems to take a long time. But then like once you do it, you're like, again, it's not out of laziness so much as it's like, how do you get them to do the reading? Oh, we could do a quiz, but they're like, why do I want to do a quiz? I want them to do the reading, you know, like, and so this is again, a way to 1, get them to do the reading, 2, get them to collaborate with one another. They can also filter their comments later. Like if they hit my comments, it will take out all these other highlights and they can just kind of see what they have commented on when you go back and draw upon that if they're writing a paper about this thing. And again, it really, an unexpected highlight for me was allowing quieter students to shine here. I think that you could like specific person here. Okay, I bet it does. But I like, it has this export data thing. You know, I'm like, there's so much I have never clicked on here, but I can show you a few things that I have looked at. Okay, I'm gonna try to like get to my other tab.
Click on the OK.
Yeah, okay. Oh, there's a question maybe?
That was me. I said that if anybody has a.
Oh, okay. And I could like move the, yeah, okay. I'll move it back in just a second. Okay. So this is my new Perusall workshop Mabry thing that I made just for today. I added one thing to the library. I couldn't do this in real time because another kind of con is that it does take a while to upload documents. The longer the document, the longer it takes to upload. And so it's not like you can do this at the beginning of class for that class. It does take some prep time. And then I can show you how I make an assignment. So I'm going to go to assignments. Yes, I add assignment content to assign this. You don't have to, of course, remember any of this, but this is sort of on my con list. Is it like, I have to remember how to do all this stuff, and there's a lot of clicking and a lot of, it, for me, it seems like an overwhelming platform of options that I have not taken advantage of, but that I'm sure that people could take advantage of. Yes, I want to assign all of it. Sometimes you can assign like a chapter if it's a bigger thing. And I will hit OK. You got to put your deadline in there. Oops.
Does the deadline lock them from being able to do it?
No, I don't think so. Okay, I'm just like randomly doing things here. Okay. Here's where I would write, take notes, what, and then like, again, be more specific about that. You can do like when the assignment will be visible on, okay, like right now, assign it to who. I do not let them post anonymously. I click that. You know, assignment is optional, assignment is extra credit, do not remind, whatever, all these little various things that you can do. Scoring, okay, this is the thing that is interesting. Okay, so some professors I know have like, I do everything just on a 1 to 100 basis. That is just my life. Okay. Some people assign different kinds of point values. And so I always change this to 100. And then just put 100 here. This is kind of the cool thing, is that you can tell students they have multiple ways to get full credit. I am trying, this is not hard. I tell them like, not hard, okay? So comment content is 60%. So if they just write like, yeah, okay, that's gonna give them some credit, but they gotta mix that up with like other stuff too. Hey, if they open the assignment, they get 20 points. If they read it to the end, 20 points again. Just like, and I show them this matrix so I can like, just open it, you know, how much time they spend engaging with it. Sometimes I tell them, why don't you get through it, close it, open it up again, because it will tell me on my end how many times they opened it and their time reading. Getting responses, if the responses are so good that they get like thumbs up, +1, whatever, then they Yeah, okay. So I set this to 0. I don't really like, that doesn't matter. And then like, heck no, I'm not gonna make a quiz. So I set that to 0. And then sometimes I'm like, yes, you could adjust it. You see like it's moving. I don't know. I'm gonna try to get it over here. So like, you can get a ton of, they don't have to even do all of these things the way I have it set up. They just do like a mix of them, right? And then I hit okay. And then if you are in the class, you can open the assignment. Hopefully, and like someone can, this is a good thing if the Zoom is working, if like anyone is on their computer and this is actually accessible to them, I would love to know that. So that like, oh, you're there, Addie.
I know.
Okay.
So where would we see this if we are in, would we just go?
You would go to Perusall in that new Perusall workshop Mabry situation. Yes, people are in here. Okay, great. So again, the way that you would do this, and again, here, let me just like tell you in theory, is that again, well, I mean, we can maybe look at it depending on how many people do something, but I can hit the grade book, okay?
Yeah.
And then it'll tell me like what the students got out of 100. I can hit export to Canvas and it will export it as a daily grade to Canvas. Sometimes students are like, why did I get the grade I got? You can tell them there is like a very complicated algorithm that you be like, here it is. But it'll also say, you only put 4 short comments, or you looked at it for 2 minutes before class started, or I see that all of your comments were placed during class while I was talking about it. You know, like you can tell them that, and you'd be like, just work on it a little bit more. Lots of people get runners on it. It's not meant to be hard, but it is meant to at least get them through the reading and make yourself feel better that like they got through the reading, you know, like there are comments there and you have things to work with that again, you may not have thought of before. And so again, if you want to like just fiddle with it, my instructions are wonderful, take notes, you know, but you can, you know, students will write things like, author builds tension here, you know, and then someone else will say, yes, at Samantha, emoji, whatever. I mean, like I try to make it be as casual / in-depth as I want. Again, like the more in-depth comments are here. That's even not even what I was trying to say. Can I edit myself? Okay, yes, whatever. I meant tension, something, right? And so I do want it to be a combination of, oh my gosh, this is so weird that this happened, and also this leads to the deeper level. It really does elicit all kinds of conversations.
How often are you using it?
Okay, I can show you that in my shell, okay? Again, I do this all at the beginning of the semester because adding it in is, as it goes, is a little bit difficult. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 readings here. I have all of Mastermind Chapter 3, which we use in critical, reasoning. I have counter knowledge in here, which is familiar to Writer 1313. Some of these are book chapters, some of these are shorter. Okay, so there is a mix. I do think that, I think a pretty similar number also for, 1312. Well, the thing is that I teach 4 of the same class, so I have 4 sections, okay? So the only kind of annoying thing about it is that I have to go and change, like, this is due at 11, this is due at 8, whatever, you know? And again, I can copy the section into another section, but I can't copy everything I did for my 8 a.m. class to my 9:30 class to my 11. I have to populate the library every time.
So you have to populate the library with each section at every time. So, or do you just populate the library and then you just slide stuff into the different sections? You see what I mean?
Yes, you cannot populate the library does not go across sections. But since I use a similar library in every spring, I can transfer it over. I still just have to go through and change all my dates. Yes, and I also have to do the little like link this assignment to Canvas, which again, I cannot tell you how to do that because it always requires me to like fail and then try it again and then figure it out.
So that does seem like a laborious part.
Yes. But again, I like the payoff because again, I don't want to be punitive and like taking a quiz to make sure you do the reading. Whereas it's like, we do the reading and we take notes on the reading, and this is how you take notes, and this is how you get ideas from one another, you know, that kind of thing. Sorry, I think that would be that.
Oh, is that, are you sections processing? Is that something? So I had to sit in on, I'm in on some of these sections, and there's 2. And they were able to, they was able to put the 2 together of the one link.
Oh,
So I can go to the one link and I can see those sections. It seems to me, other than the times, which obviously we have to change, but it seems to me like if you could figure out a way to do that.
did I just stop the Zoom? I didn't, oh no, I'm.
I would say that, I mean, if there's any issues that are technical, contact your ATSC and they would be able to go into.
They did it for somebody else who linked 2 classes. But even 2 classes linked would be helpful for you to not have to create this 4 times.
Well, you still have to change the due dates.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, it probably would be helpful, but I still try to be like, it's due at this time.
What if you could just change it to 11 times? I mean, it doesn't.
Oh, no.
Is there a way, I'm just trying to think of what, you know, because some people teach 4 or 5 sections, and that's something we want.
Yeah, but then it will be setting up just one time, because then the next time you teach the class.
She can copy this.
So I mean, yeah, maybe it's something that if you don't want to do for all of the classes at once, do one class every semester, like gradually go, you know, into this. Yeah, but it allows you to copy those resources if it is from one semester to the next. So you're not gonna have to set up everything and upload everything there.
I also love like the students who are just like, I'm confused. I mean, like, great, but that totally counts as a comment, you know? Valid. Right. I check the grades in case something just really strange should happen. And I always say, like, you can ask me why you got the grade you got, and I can explain what you did and what you could do better. There is some anxiety about like, how do I get 100 on Perusall?
Let me do this.
I did 12 comments and blah, blah, blah.
The folks in Zoom are having a hard time hearing the conversation, particularly the folks that are here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put a microphone, I guess, in the middle. But one of the comments in the Zoom was one thing they might consider between the sections is to put the due date always at the same time, so you don't have to have multiple due dates and several courses. Let us know if it's better to hear people here in the room now instead of with the microphone.
Question, if you go and put it, hopefully you can hear me. If you go and put it where they're all in the same section, but the section where it's typically not. This canvas merge those all in one of the grading bodies in?
It does.
It does.
But you can, like, when you're in your grade book, you can filter it. You can just see one section at a time, or you can see them all at once. It's under student three.
Okay. Another merge I did was, at the same time, it's just seniors and graduates, this ends. So it wasn't a real issue there.
I'm trying to find another one, as you all are just asking very good questions that I don't know the answer to. I do know that Faye told me once that she didn't, I had a question about Perusall, and she had to go on like the chat with Perusall on my behalf and like screenshot the chat answers, you know? So, it had to do something about the way that the grading was happening, or maybe it was down that day or something, like something I didn't remember. You know, this one got a +5 kind of comment there.
That means 5 people comment.
That means that this person made this comment and 5 people were like, that's a good comment. I wonder that
It's like a
too.
thumbs up there, like.
Yeah,
Okay, so it's not a comment, it's not 5 different comments.
no, it's 5 thumbs ups on one comment.
Right.
Yeah, does that count as a comment for the people who do the thumbs up?
I don't think so.
I
That
can
was,
see,
that was in the rubric where you could go and do the percent weighting, where you could go and do some percentage to feedback or upvoting on other people's comments.
I can see students going, okay, you commented, and then, you know, like everybody.
Right, right.
Okay, 5 comments, well, that 5 comments, okay, so why are we not? Gonna do
I
that?
don't care
Do you know what I
because
mean?
20 points reads to the end.
Right.
You know,
Right, exactly.
they can be,
Yeah.
as long as they fulfill other aspects of the thing. Yeah, and again, this is, you know, that they'll go back to, well, I don't know, but it, you know, this is an essay that they write a paper on, so they're gonna go back and be like, what did I highlight in Perusall? Maybe I can use one of those quotes
Right.
for my paper, because they can, again, go to this filter thing and filter it out.
Right, deeper after this is done.
So typically, this is the first thing. So again, I will assign the reading due before the next, like, if the class starts at 8 AM, do it at 8 AM. I then have an in-class free write, okay, based on the reading. And then as they do that free write, I just scroll down, look for kind of moments where things are really happening. Again, like, this is another kind of quiet student, and like, right, you know, stands at the center of their page. I'm just like, look, things that, like, again, they can't, this is gonna be, I mean, I've had students now, AI write their free write, if I do it on campus. Or even if they do them by hand, they're looking at, they're like, type it in a copy. This to me is like a really like pure way of getting their idea. In any kind of grammatically correct, incorrect, thumbs up, whatever form, I'm really appreciative of this. I tried to find this one place. I can just tell you, like, someone was like, I profoundly disagree with you, at Stephen. You know, it was like, oh my gosh, you know, something you wish that someone was saying, and they never did. But let me go back to see if anybody was doing anything in this Perusall. Oh, but not really, but that's okay. But again, if I highlight this, I could see like this is happening here. Oh, yeah. It's a little slow. Like, I don't know if you noticed in what I showed it in mine, it doesn't, you have to go to the screen and then the highlights will populate, you know, it's not super quick. But again, it works. Let me see if I have. And again, this is just a presentation on how I use it. As you like remember, there's tons of other buttons I am not pushing in any way. I don't know about like, what is all this? The library, again, there's so many different things that you can like put in aside from just a old school PDF like I do.
So I'm looking for Addie's comment. So you did a comment, but I looked over a one-on-one, where is your comment?
My comment is on the paper itself, so if you see, I think it's on page 3 or 2, it's highlighted over there, see?
On the top?
Yeah, so if
Okay,
she
so
clicks,
then you
if she
click
clicks
on
on it, it shows that, oh, you know, and then I'm trying to have so many kids.
Okay. So each person, is each person gonna be a different color?
No. Again, that's why I don't spend a huge amount of time clicking. I'm doing that right now just to see if I can show you the different kinds of comments that come up. But I don't be like, oh, you know, James had 8 comments.
Yeah, you can
I
tell
just, because if I go to grade book, it says we have 100, I want 3. You know, I just look again for those moments where there's a really big comment, or someone's really into it, or there's a lot of comments. Because they're really into it, and maybe again, that's a place where I can weave that into my discussion if I haven't already thought that. Yeah, and to getting it done, yes, making sure they get it done. And again, having them tell me something I don't know, or like point me in a direction that I wasn't thinking. And then you get to say that, like, I'm gonna look through, see if there's some things, so they like feel seen in that moment, you know, I'm paying attention to what you're doing, and hopefully you can help me drive the conversation. I have some notes, but I'm gonna add those notes based on maybe places that were really popular in the text. I can look at the. Oh yeah, setting save time. Oh, okay. I can answer other questions, knowing that I don't know everything about its functionality, but.
Yeah, if anybody wants to just unmute yourself and ask a question.
Yeah, so that's like what I was hoping for, like on that moment where. I- Again, like. Let's say I have notes. But I go through and see this. I'll be like, right on my little notepad. Page 14, Perusall, this comment. Does anyone want to talk about why you think that this comment, this section, you know, drew so much attention? Like I was thinking about the thing that you were saying, telling me, you were like, when all else fails and no one is doing anything, this is one of our cluster meetings, they were like, she was like, just choose a line and like write about why you like it, you know?
So Perusall is available also in you're using it on your phone, right?
Oh, okay.
So Eric, I don't know if you can hear me.
I don't know if you can hear me better now with the microphone. Yes, Karen is even using Perusall on her cell phone right now. So mobile devices are okay. And then we also had another comment about that you can import an entire library from one course to the next. You might have
Yeah.
to remake the assignments, but the libraries are easily transferred from one course.
Yeah, you can transfer the library, you just can't transfer the well, obviously, you have to reset, and you can transfer the grading settings.
Mhm.
Just for me, I have to reset for when is it due, when is it available, when is
Yeah.
it due, if it's not available, like those little things.
Which once again, it's kind of a, time consuming, but not that time consuming. I think that, like an hour or two.
It's like setting up anything on Canvas.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, another thing is, like, I had a student who was getting consistently like 60s on his assignment, it's like, I usually just do the reading, like, kind of right before class, the last minute. I'm like, well, that's not gonna work here, okay? Like, change the strategy, like, always, maybe that will help him change the strategy. Or a student who was like, full on said, I don't usually do the reading, and then, well, you get, okay, so you're gonna not get credit for that.
It's an element, I think, your instructors suggest spending more time with this assignment. And you watch or listen to the whole thing already, you'll get more out of it like that.
Yes, okay, there is an introduction of a little like bot that like coaches you through it. And that's not something that I see in my end, but it will like take more time, add more comments, add more substantive comments. Yes. Another like helpful thing, I guess, but but I don't necessarily love it because it just doesn't let them figure out what's substantive, but it again sort of goes to my, I don't want this to be hard. I just want it to be done. I just want it to be a thing that you can do that is not particularly difficult.
There's a question from the chat. Have you tried using the assignment to copy option to move assignments from one course to the other?
I don't know. The answer is like, I have, maybe there's so many things that I like have it done, like you can hit this duplicate thing, but then I don't know where that goes. I'm sure there is just so many things. And then again, it'll show you also this little like, little progress thing.
And that's for the class.
That is the class.
Although that's for all of your classes.
This is just this one class. I'm only in one section.
Okay.
But also what's kind of great is when I open this, let me see if it'll, you could like, again, this is like a little overview. Where it says, here's how many comments, here's how many questions, you both upvoted this, again, would love to see in my sociology class, we learned about this, and we'd love this like that,
So you can kind of go back and, sorry.
Yeah.
So that's how long it took them to read and make some comments. Took 2 hours to read an article, is that what that's?
This is that chapter from Mastermind, so it is long.
That's pretty.
But yes, this would be the average time that it took the students to get through it and give their comments.
Which this can be a great tool to estimate the time it'll take to complete. So as you are planning your classes, right? As you're thinking of how much you're going to be assigning in class and out of class work, not to overwhelm them. If you assign this in Perusall and see that it usually takes them 2 hours and 5 minutes, and this is a 3-hour class, you might not be assigning much more than just the reading for them for the week, because otherwise they're not going to be able to complete.
I can see like this one is very short, 32 minutes.
That is a great tool that indirectly Perusall allows you to have that collective estimated time of engagement.
The longer one, I'm sorry, but the others did not on this shorter reading. You have some work submitted. The other one was 100% completed. This has a mix. But you would think the shorter reading, you'd get more compliance versus.
But they don't know how, if it's short or not, right?
I tell them, I
Okay.
mean, this will take a while. Versus sure. I think I probably have that even like, but I also think that sometimes the shorter ones, they don't know what to say. You know, the longer ones have more opportunity for notes.
Can you
Whereas the short-
navigate to that audit area on the left side on the menu? Very left. What
Just
is that?
click on it?
What is that? Yeah.
I hope I don't.
Policy review comments that have been flagged.
Oh, yeah, like if someone copied someone else's wording, they'll be like, do you think that this is real or do you think that this was?
Ah,
like-
interesting.
Because I think that, again, it was pasted into it. Somebody might be reading it and like typing on their iPad, you know what I mean? Like they might not be, they might be reading the document on one screen, typing a note, and then copying the note or something.
Yeah.
Or like on a Word doc or something.
Uh-huh.
Saying something, if they're smart, they're going and saving off their work because in that format and proof, they ever want to go with what they did and what they said. It could be a pain to do. That's just essentially
Yeah.
10 threads of entries.
I've never clicked on that.
Probably had put the internet went out and off the work. So, do that, yeah.
But again, well, let me actually look. I'm gonna look on, sorry, I have so many tabs down. I don't know. I'm gonna look at the grade book. I'm gonna see like what Addie got, okay? Because then I can show you what that looks like. Why are you not here?
Oh, it might be because I'm not a student. Remember, I added myself as
Okay.
an organizer, so I might be.
Okay,
And you can see I did not.
yes, okay, so here are my grades, okay? So let's just do like, this is step, okay? As students, why did I get the grade I get? Well, you could screenshot this. It's got this wacky formula, but it'll tell you how many words, how many before the deadlines, how many words average per comment, how many times did they open it? And then you can click on this and it will tell you the comments that they gave. And sometimes I'll be like, okay, again, it's a low stake thing and I don't necessarily care unless they're like, I spent 7 minutes on it. Why did I get a 60? You know, I'm like, well, you spent like 7 minutes on it, you know? Oh, look at all of this, all of this. How much did you read? How long did you read it for? 0 comments got a response. Again, do I open this very much? No, I only open it if somebody asks me why they got the grade they got. Which is kind of rare, again, because people figure out how to use it and how to do it. And what combination of things they can do to get the max score on it. But I love the reading to the end 20% thing. I also love opening the assignment 20%. Are there any other questions?
Any other questions online?
Well,
Yeah.
I may not know the answer, but do you know what this is? Could you have this interact with Play Posit?
Probably not, because they're just two different, yeah. They can integrate a Canvas, but they're not gonna connect with one another.
And then let me see again if I can. So once that populates here and you have it connected to Canvas, again, which I can do, but I cannot talk you through right now because I don't know the steps by heart. You hit release to students, and that's the moment that it will go into your Canvas gradebook. So I don't even know if it's here. Yeah, it's right here. Okay. So it would have, I didn't hit that button, which I guess I could. But I didn't connect it, so I don't think it would actually do anything, but like students can now. Do that. And then it would go right there, and if you have that column in your daily work, whatever, it would be back.
Is it too complicated to connect or no?
No, but I'm not very good at anything. I mean, it just, where am I? How do I get out of here? See, I can't even like, oh yeah. It's like, you know, when you do the external tool thing?
Yes.
Yes, it's that. So-
To edit and assign. Go to edit assignment.
Edit assignment settings. I'm sorry that people are just like watching me click
No,
around.
this is helpful.
It's points, external tool. Okay, yeah, find it. Right, it's usually once it's in the thing, yes, there it is, whatever. Okay, I don't know if that's gonna do anything. Now it's just like stuck on this, I don't know why. Let me just, it was already there, right? So you gotta make sure that the due dates align with the due dates. That's not gonna carry over either, so you kind of have to double due date things, yes? So that just, yeah. So then they can also get through it through the modules or the assignments once you have figured it out. How to link it.
Do you want to try to push the grade and see if that will?
I already pushed, let me go back to let me see if it will go.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah,
Some of them popped up.
yeah.
Sometimes they don't, that's another thing. Like one grade will just like not be there. And so I have to go back to the grade book and like see if it's like a 0 because they didn't do it or if it just didn't transfer over. Or usually it'll be like one student whose grades doesn't always transfer over for some reason. I don't know.
Yes.
Yes.
Correct. Correct, yes, but it's its own thing. That's why it just doesn't have that interaction between the Play Posit, because Play Posit is also its own thing that is interacts with Canvas.
Okay,
Very cool.
yes. Okay,
Thank
thanks,
you.
everybody.
Any other questions from the Zoom folk? I said, this is very useful. Thank you, Samantha.
Okay.